I mean, with Jack now 4 years deep, we know who the man is. We really, really do. I mean, even myself playing him, it's instinctual. But you still have to have that discovery, and we have to be able to unlock different moments in his life and experiences that he's having. Like bringing Mr. Lawrence home and for dinner and being very uncomfortable with this new heroic stance that Mr. Lawrence is taking over Jack in the eyes of Randall. But Jack also knowing that he's lost. He even says it. He's out of his depths. He's out of his depths. But it is satisfying 4 years in knowing that we can still unpack something from the bottom of the trunk of who this guy is, even though we've seen so much of him. I think for me, in playing Jack longer than I've played anything else, longer than Peter on Heroes or longer than Jess on Gilmore or anything else that I've done, it's continuing to show an honesty of who this man is. Represent the men of that era, represent fathers and husbands that have their faults and their mistakes, but I'm just constantly, every day, every scene, just trying to make it real. Trying to make the experience of Jack's experience, taking a step to the side as myself and just letting Jack live for a little bit. I don't want to say that it's gotten easier, but also at the same time, it hasn't gotten more difficult. It's just gotten complex in an instinctual way. You becoming Jack is simply putting on the hair and makeup and putting on the clothes and then just acting off of instinct because he's seeped into my being, that when I walk onto these sets and I look a certain way, voice changes, demeanor changes, tone changes, and I'm right back into Jack. Directing was exciting and I was honored. I've been directing a lot of like digital short form stuff for years since I was in my early 20s, and to have Dan Fogelman and Ken Olin at the helm saying, hey, we want you to do this, we want you to direct the episode, be the first one up, and it put a lot of confidence in me that they not only allowed me but picked me, and that they're opening the door for other actors to come in and direct. We got Justin coming up, and that's exciting. And I know John will probably direct, and I know Sterling and Susan have talked about it. The process was, again, it wasn't difficult, but it was complex. As an actor, sometimes your world gets so minimized where you're thinking about yourself and your scene partners, right? As a director, you're thinking about every single angle, not just the cameras, not just the people in the scene, not just the table or the lights or the locations or the post-production and all. You're really wrapped up in the entirety of the process. And for me, I just wanted to serve the process. I wanted to serve the show. I wanted to serve the crew, cast, the producers, the writers, our post teams. I'm just there representing them and making sure that all of their hard work is seen and shown. And that's kind of what you do. This season, season 4, feels just like the other seasons. I just did a scene with Mandy, and she just kind of looked across the table from me. She goes, "Geez, my, here we are." And I go, "Yeah, what do you mean?" And she said, we're 4 years in. The last time we were in this location, we had just gotten married. And I was like, oh, and you stop and you look around, and I think everything just holds a little bit more weight for us, knowing that we've traveled so far in the lives of these characters. But also, I feel more invested in what they're doing. I feel more invested in who they are. And again, just showing up every day and making the experience of Jack and his kids, or Jack and his wife, or even a director on set with all of these wonderful actors, like making this a real experience. because there's no difference between season 1, 2, 3, 4, or what we'll go into in 5 and 6. It should always hold that level of quality where an audience is looking at it and going, that's my life on screen, and I can relate to it, and I can learn from it, and I can communicate something maybe to my loved ones that I didn't think I was going to be able to because of This Is Us.